Yeah. So hey guys, not a DI radio, not any of that. I'm here, of course, with JMix, co-founder. I think what is my left, right on the screen, probably your guys is right. Because streams and Discord is a little weird every now and then. But
Nah, I'm on the left.
you're on the left. All right, cool.
Yeah,
To the left of my side, of course, is the
I'd be a
co-founder,
side guy.
2GGaming. Of course, you guys already know me, host of DI Radio. I guess unofficial official host of MSM. I don't know. I really call myself that. But yeah, not missing strides. Who might be on my right at some point in my life. Normally when we're offline or online. But yeah, definitely I'm joined here by the co-founder of 2GGaming, of course, JMX. 2020 was what it was. You know, I think we got to the season finale of 2020 this past week. What a week this was, but also what a season finale to 2020. You know, taking over a few days of January, and I think JMix and I we talked a lot about like a lot of ideas and a lot of things that we couldn't do in 2020 that we wish we could have done, and 2020 was what it was. And from those ideas and from what 2020 was, a lot of things were born to be what's going to be, so to speak, the future for the next few months. You know, James and I have talked about this theoretically, non theoretically, possible, right? This and this and that. And like now that the vaccine is out there and it is going to be distributed to a lot of people, you know, the biggest question that a lot of people are going to ask is when does offline come back? Right? Like when is a good time? And I know you've told me, James, so I'm gonna hand that over to you in a sec. The best case scenario, right? Maybe in spring, maybe in summer, people start to go out a lot more. You know, we could finally gather in a hotel room or whatever. And then I think realistically speaking, I'm definitely with you in fall and winter. That's more or less the timeline when offline comes back. But I think I've talked about enough. I kind of want people to hear you out on what do you think about offline and the possibility of that, especially given with the question of Final Saga of like when that's going to happen.
Yeah, Final Saga is still gonna happen, obviously. A lot of people have requested refunds, which is fine. It's completely understandable. You can still request refunds if you like. Just email us at info@2ggaming.com. We're not trying to steal anyone's money or anything like that. I think earlier on, people were like, "Oh, they're gonna take the money and run." It's like that's stupid. Anyway, yeah. So like in-person tournaments, dude, like there's so many factors to consider, especially with the whole virus thing. Like I mean, as the community knew, especially in SoCal, and I'm sure it happened all across the country. People were opening up left and right, like in like little secret tournaments, underground tournaments, and basically like going against what the state suggestions were based on like the health and the safety of people for the virus. We're not trying to do that, right? Like we're trying to essentially go by whatever the state says. We don't want to get shut down. We don't want to do like a tournament too preemptive and then we get shut down and that's it. 2GG's done because of the state disbands us or prevents us from hosting events in the future. But the reality is like we want to do it in the safest way possible and in the cheapest way possible to you guys, to the consumer, right? Like we don't want to have to throw a tournament and it's like okay, instead of charging $20 for an event for like an early bird whatever, now early bird is 50 and it's like the 50 that's like for us that's like almost the emergency registration price. And I don't know if you guys have taken notice, but like we charge pretty low compared to other events around the nation, especially if you do early bird. But ultimately, we want to open up in a time and in a place when it's safe to do so without it costing too much extra to support the health of the attendees. And by that I mean like we don't want to increase the cost by $20 or 2x or whatever to have to have like sanitation stations to essentially buy a bigger room or rent out a bigger room just to fit the same amount of people because we have to keep that 6 feet distance. Like there's a lot of little things that if you just think about it, right? Like if you're going to go to a tournament in next month, I'm not saying for you to do that, but I'm just giving you an example. You're obviously going to want to make sure there's enough room. You're obviously going to want to make sure there's enough sanitation stations, and any other like precautions that are needed for COVID and COVID safety indoors.
Right.
So it's like have camera, just FYI. We're live,
There's Demi.
huh? Oh, I got you. Hold on 1 second.
So yeah, let me just go ahead and piggyback now for James while he takes care of that in the background here. Yeah, I think opening up is more of a question of how to do it properly and right. I think when you think about the community in general, it's about putting the community first, but also putting in safety first for a lot of people because safety is like the number one concern, right? We want to make sure when people come into a tournament, there is no fear or there is a fear of, hey, this person may or may not be sick, right? And therefore I don't feel safe. Therefore, I don't want to go. I think no safety is the number one concern. And I think cost and safety for something like a major, like James was saying, right? We definitely doesn't want to be a huge factor. Like we don't want people to pay like an extra $20 just to feel safe in a time where money is really, really tight for a lot of people.
Yeah. What's what's like every event, almost every event, people get sick already.
Yeah.
Anytime there's like a major event, so it's like we don't want to set the precedent that you go to an event and you come back with more than just O2 and you drown in pools, like now you have COVID. Like that's not what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
wanted to make it as fun as possible, as close to like the old normal as possible,
Hmm.
and obviously as safe as possible. So, I mean, essentially, it's like right. I think right now the timetable, at least for California, is like the majority of the population, if obviously if they choose to get vaccinated, will be vaccinated by like mid to end of summer.
Hmm.
So maybe we'll have a 2 weeks of summer smash this year. Who knows? Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll have to wait until next year for that. But um, according to the data and the projections and the predictions from the state, we might be able to come back, or at least think about coming back sometime in quarter three, quarter four.
Hmm.
Again, this is all tentative. It all depends. Things can change. Virus can spike. Virus can just go away out of nowhere. So yeah, man, we'll see. But at the end of the day, it's like safety number one. It's like
Yeah.
we don't want you guys to come to an event, and especially not our event, and then you go home and you get COVID, or you catch COVID because of our event or whatever. So
Yeah. And
it's
and
bad enough
I'm
people get the flu. Like we don't want
yeah.
like
COVID is so serious that I tell people I think Arma and a few friends of mine have always told me like you should take an airborne whenever you go to a major. You know what I'm saying? So I've gone to like a major and they'll be like, "Hey, take an airborne so I don't catch the flu." But the problem is like it's not airborne that I just need. It's COVID is much stronger. And then of course there was a lot of talk about the new strain, and of course essentially the government's like, "Hey, the vaccine works with it, but we still want you to be careful because this strain is much more contagious." Which is why if you guys didn't see the stream, I definitely posted up there. There's a lot of things that are tentative to change, right? I put it right there for everybody who can read. I can't read it myself right now, and ironically, because I have it on my setup here. But going back to us, that's just letting you guys know that it's better to not worry about the risk at all than to worry about it and then go to it. Like James said, we don't want you to go home and not only did you go to you got COVID and you have to stay home, and a lot of people have jobs, and of course they won't be able to work for 2 weeks or so because of the virus and
right.
things like
And
that.
and it and someone just mentioned in the chat, it's like more there's a mortality rate of like 0.01%. And sure, that may be the case. I'm sure it is. But the fact that it's literally life and death, even if it's 0.0001. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like you die for what? To go to the tournament?
Hmm.
Just wait. It's different if
Exactly.
you have to go to work to like feed your family, or you have to do something of an emergency, or something like that. Versus like, oh, I want to go play video games. I wanted to
Yeah.
go hang out with friends. Like that's literally what a tournament is, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like a place of sanctuary almost for a lot of people. And it's like if you associate your place of sanctuary with death, even if it's 0.00001%, it's not good. It's just
Yeah.
not. So
Definitely. And me myself, who's taken a different living nowadays, having my grandparents, right? Like, or a lot of people who live with their family may have lost their apartment, might have moved back with family, might have moved around. That mortality rate is really high when it comes to anybody who's over 60. I don't want to joke. I don't want to joke, but I remember when COVID was first announced, it was people dubbed it the boomer killer because it was something that killed and had a high mortality rate against people who are a lot older. So I don't definitely want to spread COVID to somebody who like my family member or something like someone else's family member. Definitely, the flu didn't stop people going to Evo, but the flu didn't have a huge mortality rate. That's the difference between the flu and COVID. But because of that, you guys definitely might have noticed. Actually, before I go ahead and change transition, James, do you have any closing statements about offline and COVID and things like that?
Yeah, just one. I mean, it just kind of goes back to like the statistics and the factors. Is like everyone's gonna have their opinion. Everyone's gonna have like their version of like what's right or what should be done or whatever.
Mm,
And this is what we're doing, right? Like you don't have to agree with what we're doing. You don't have to agree with our method or the way we're going about it. But like this is what will allow us to sleep at night
yeah.
going forward. Like ensuring we do not have events until it's 100% safe to do so. So yeah, that's essentially what we're going to be doing. So
And this is good for a segue here of what we're going to be doing. If you guys have already been part of the channel, you guys have already noticed on either YouTube or specifically this channel a few new things that have been added over time, right? I'm just going to go ahead and introduce this to you here briefly in the slide here for all you guys. You guys won't be able to see me read it, thank God. But of course, if you guys have already been part of the YouTube scenario, you guys already know I have been doing DI Radio to provide extra content for other people to enjoy. I know some people miss seeing other players or seeing top talent, right? Like, hey, I miss seeing Charlie in person, right? I got to bring out an episode featuring Charlie and having him go over the background of of him being a player. I miss hearing Vicky Kitty on commentary. Hey, I got to hear what she's been up to since COVID and before. So DI Radio was my way to connect people to some of the other players, but also having it connect to us on a more personal level. Of course, I definitely want to take the time to announce season two. Definitely going to be having more players from around the world. I definitely want to call part one East of the Seas. I'll let you guys figure out what that means. But it's 5 new episodes coming very, very soon. And of course, the second part of season two will be a return to SoCal. If you guys miss a lot of SoCal top talent or just miss SoCal in general, just like I do, I've got a lot of episodes featuring some of SoCal's finest coming directly to you guys. And of course, I will take the time that, yes, when offline does come back, when I do get a chance to personally interview people in person much more safer. There is a video documentary that I definitely want to work on. I was working on one with previously what was the Smash scene at the USC campus, but because of COVID-19, I kind of had to stop production very, very early on, and unfortunately, I couldn't do that. So that's the one thing. But hey, James, this was something I talked to you who was brought to me by somebody named Kamui or a really good friend of mine. He asked me like, "Hey, what was 2G Gold, right?" And thanks to something like Twitch integration, we kind of got 2G Gold back, right? And I kind of want to talk to you about some of those integrations that you put onto what is basically a return of the ever popular Gambit system. Money free, by the way.
yeah. So I think it's been a couple years actually since we've had it, but we ran a bot like on the side of a lot of our bigger streams, our bigger events, and we basically for like every minute you would get well now they're called channel points by Twitch, right? But you would just get points. You can call them whatever you want, and you can use those points to like wager based on circumstances that like we would put, and usually we would do like who's going to win this set and Void or Larry, right?
Hmm.
It was just a lot of work. A lot of the process, like the whole flow of like the whoever's running the stream was just too much, so we just got rid of it. It was really finicky, and then if you wanted to change like the name, I think Exia. There's a lot of people, but Exia is one of the people that like he's always in our streams, and he lost like 10,000 gold or something because we had to rename something. But anyway, that's all behind us. Twitch now essentially has the same thing integrated into their platform, into their website. So we brought that back. Anytime you're watching, literally every minute, anytime you interact, you get channel points, which in this case we call them 2G Gold. Trying to pay homage to what we used to have in the past. And yeah, we'll have wagers. You can bet on um, whoever you think will win that current set, right? And then you guys can. It's like another form of interaction instead of just sitting there watching the match. So we're going to try to implement that at every event. Um, so far, we only have MSMO every Monday, but it's been really well received. I feel like viewer retention and viewer engagement is up because of it. Like people literally yell at us for not having the wager for every set. Like, where's my money? I want my. So
Yeah,
yeah, man, it's a good time. It's super fun.
yeah.
It's as simple as a Twitch extension. So like when you're watching it, you'll see it pop up at the top of your at the top of your chat. So it's super easy. If you ever tune into one of our future events, like I said, right now it's just on Monday evenings. You'll be able to partake in that fun.
Yeah, and definitely I'm with James on that sentiment, right? Like a lot of people really enjoy having that gambit system. Money free, by the way, never a dollar you guys have to spend. It's all for you guys. Channel points. If you guys wondering how you guys get channel points, you guys basically just watch the stream. Watch the stream, you get a few points, talk in the chat, get a few points, and then you can use those points to set a huge gamble on who you think will take the set. There's been a lot of upsets and disappointments where a lot of people have definitely have voted against a certain player and they end up losing. And and
Yeah,
it's wild. It's wild. I'm definitely happy to chat.
it's a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good time. It's a good time, man. It's all for you guys. And there's a lot of things that I want to do. There's a lot of things that which like James said, right, where it's all for you guys. And basically there's a lot of possibilities that we're going to implement, like you said, coming up with more tournaments just to kind of equalize that. I personally am not really sure. This is something that we kind of had an idea of.
He's spinning.
I don't know. This is kind of like an idea that I kind of talked to you. I guess I'll bring it to you live here on the stream, James. It's like, what are some cool gifts and ideas that you think we can do with channel points, right? Like my idea was, okay, if you got 1,000,000 points and you put that on the channel, I would be happy to gift you a free month sub. Like, hey, you've watched like a lot, you bet a lot, here's a free sub or whatever. But
Yeah. As far as monetary stuff, we're gonna have to see how that works because, as I mentioned, like we used to have literally like 4 or 5 events a week
mhm.
before March of 2019, and so sorry, before March of 2020. We're already in 2021. This is ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. So as far as like monetary rewards, we're gonna try to look into it. One of the things that Van just kind of mentioned was like gifting subs and stuff. If you redeem them for, I don't know, 100,000 points, we still have to figure out the numbers and tweak everything. But as of right now, you can redeem points. Like you can promote your own channel. So like we'll literally create a command for you with our bot. We're still trying to figure out like how long that command will stay up. Like we might
Yeah.
have it delete automatically after like 2 weeks or something, but as an incentive to like keep coming back and watching, and then we get to help promote your own channel or whatever it is you want to promote. Obviously, it needs to fit within our guidelines. Like we're not going to promote profanity and things like that, but that's one option. If you want to just have fun with it, we have like lower tier rewards to use your points to like just make the chat emote only. You can become a mod if you want for like a day. I don't know. We're still experimenting with like ways to reward your points, or sorry, to redeem your points, like I mentioned.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's literally just the more you watch, the more you interact, and if you want to take advantage of the wagering system to kind of boost your points faster than just sitting there and watching, you can. But a lot of people already have been utilizing those points to promote their own Twitch channels, and like I said,
PSI
we're
guy.
we're more than happy to do that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
PSI guy. Yep, he's one of them. Fro is one of them too. So
And of course, for my personal favorite, for 10,000 channel points, you guys get to be Exia. You guys get to time somebody else out. So
yeah,
what's
you
up?
can yeah you
Yeah.
can time somebody out. You can use your points to time out anybody you want. Like I said, it all just goes back to having fun, trying to increase engagement and more things for you to do other than just sitting there and watching the game. So
Right, right. And then kind of going back here a little bit, speaking of increasing engagement, if you guys have questions, you guys want to ask me or James, or I guess 2GG in general, definitely feel free to just type out those questions in chat. We will get to those questions. Don't worry. We'll have time. But that leads us to our third operation here, of course, is the monthly Q&A. We definitely want to connect with you guys more because we haven't been able to connect with you guys offline as we normally would. Usually Javi is taking questions or feedback, but because we're not offline, he can't take in that information, and none of us can. So basically, what we came up together here is our monthly Q&A. You guys are already seeing it. We're going to be able to update you guys on sagas when they will happen as the information comes directly to us. If you guys tuned in earlier into the stream, you guys will know what the state of offline is as of right now. But of course, offline events and sagas altogether, these are going to happen the first Saturday of every month. Unfortunately, the first Saturday was a holiday, so we kind of just let that slide here. We wanted to sit back, relax, probably wake up hungover from being on a Discord chat. But also, if you guys have questions, you guys are already thinking of, maybe you're at home, you're not on stream, you're not at MSM or whatever. You guys can tweet anytime with the hashtag AskTGG. Send your questions in. We will pick out some of the best questions, and we'll get the same live here on the chat. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely feel free to ask us. Post them in the chat. Don't even worry about it. We'll get to those questions momentarily at some point in the stream as you guys ask them. James, for you, also shout out to Rainbow. That's my favorite cat. Psychonus asked a really good question. We'll get to your question, Psychonus. Do not worry. But James, this is your first time, honestly, ever being on the stream. I'm actually kind of happy I brought you out to be on the stream. But this is your first time ever being on the stream, right? And I know you guys are. This is your first time interaction, mostly Q&A. How and you want to, of course, increase engagement. How do you feel just being on the stream now? I know you've probably streamed tournaments, but you just being on the stream now, how do you feel?
It's fine, man. It's just a camera. I'm just talking to the same old folks that come to our events and support us. It's all family here, you know. So,
Mm,
or future family. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, normally, literally since like 2015 or whenever it is that we came back, since we stopped doing events back in the middle of Brawl, we took a couple years off, and uh, whenever we came back, I was literally doing production for every single event. So, and then as our team grew bigger, I kind of taught everyone how to, not everyone, but I kind of taught people how to do events or how to do streaming, how to do production. And right now, War Chief does it. I'm sure you guys know who War Chief is.
mm.
And I'm kind of just handling the front of the tournament, screaming parents, people that don't know what to do, first timers, blah blah blah. It's much better. I wouldn't say a much better use of my time, but it's like as a co-owner, you kind of have to deal with those things, and I can't do that if I'm sitting behind a computer all day or behind the camera. So you know,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's definitely one of the things that I know that I think you've interacted with a lot of like top players' parents. Surprisingly, that surprised me to see you interact with like a lot of top players who parents bring them in. Before I think Wrath was one of them. Like you met his mom, and then you guys kind of
Yeah,
talked, and
yeah.
like so yeah, I think that's the cool thing about having you in the front. I think you've always told me that like being in the front is important because I get to see people, but I also get to screen them, and then parents have big questions. And me being the co-founder allows parents to interact with somebody who owns the company and like all that stuff.
Like, look, speaking to the players, like right now, speaking to the players, like, what do you think? Like, how would you have a better chance of going to your favorite event, right? Telling your parents, "Hey, can I go to this random event?" Especially if you're underage. Like nine times out of ten, they're gonna say no. But if they have a way to talk to the organizers, if they have a way to see the faces behind the event, there's a higher chance that your parents are going to let you come to the event. So that was a big decision that we made. And that's another reason why I'm in the front of the events now. It's like if you have a curious parent, or if you have somebody that your guardian, whoever that's bringing you, and it's your first time, especially, I'm more than happy to explain to them the entire process and how everything works. You know, like you register, you sign up, blah blah blah, and the whole process of the tournament. And a lot of times that's all it takes. Like I feel like a lot of parents, especially older parents that are not familiar with video games at all, don't understand the process of what a tournament is, right? Like you can't explain to them like, oh, it's like a soccer tournament. It's like, oh, do you guys kick balls around? It's like, no, I mean that in like the format of it, not in the actual game of it, right? So it's like, um, I don't know. I think it just benefits a lot of more people when you can kind of put a face, a name, and you can actually speak to the people running the event versus like going to Anime Expo and it's like, well, it's Anime Expo. I don't know who runs it. No one knows who runs it. Do you guys know who run it? Like just casual people
Yeah,
that go? No. So it's like, especially if you're a first timer, especially if you're underage, like just having someone that your parent or guardian can talk to kind of helps a lot in the long run.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, we're just trying to help people play games. Like if you want to get better at a game and you want to come and see, test your skills and compete, I'll help you do that. Like we'll help you do that. So
And you'll have fun losing to James's DK, even if you're really good at
I'm not good, man. I just mean Charlie knows my DK sucks. If he's still in here,
it. Like I said, guys, if you guys are asking questions really quick, I just always want to remind you, we'll get to your questions a little bit towards the end. I am
yeah, yeah.
highlighting your questions, don't worry. So I will shout you out and I will say, what your question is. So don't worry. But just keep posting your questions, man. Like I said, we'll get to them in the end. No worries there. James, yeah, I like to talk about it's all about hopping. I think that's always I lost to James DK Smash.
I just go for the dumb stuff, man.
I've lost to it
And it
several amount of
works.
times. Moving forward, though, I think you talked about it. It's really important to interact with people. And me myself, I've hosted tournaments when you and I have worked together at Hat. right? We got a lot of people who are walking in, people who are watching movies, parents the first time, and I know how important it is. Guys, I'll tell you this for sure, as somebody who has gone to college, gone to a meeting, gone to interviews, have met people, have done commentary. First impressions are very important. And I think basically what James is saying is that it's like your first impression of how things go in a tournament is extremely important. And knowing that there is a face and someone to interact and someone to help you is an important thing. And because first impressions are important, and because we want to move forward here, we got a lot of announcements for today. We definitely have a lot of announcements and questions we're taking. And just to show you a little bit of our slide here, phase one of what is 2GG Online for at least for the next, I don't know, maybe 9 months. We're currently in January.
You just got question marks up. I don't know if that's
Oh yeah,
intentional.
yeah, 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 yeah. There they are. There they are. I'll go back. I'll go back here. So question marks. These are the three announcements we're going to be bringing up to you guys for today.
Oh, I mean, you can come back to us. It's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then of course
Yeah.
this is phase one, part one. Things that you guys have already probably experienced, things you guys probably been noticing. That has kind of been our quiet phase one online. And of course, we got some three more announcements for our phase one online part two. Please excuse the typos you guys might have seen. Just to come back to us here. Let's start, James. Let's start with the first one. Actually, I kind of want to already bring it up because it's something that I have been working with for the past few months. I've kind of like shot this idea to you. I bounced it back and forth between me, you, a couple friends of mine here. Sub benefits, right? Obviously, keeping viewer retention and subs all together, right? We definitely want to reward anybody who has been a sub or who is going to be a sub, right? And those benefits include something that we've been trying to do. We miss sagas. We all miss sagas, right? But I think this is something that we can do. Is New Year, new benefits, sub only tournament. The last Saturday of the month, $100 pop bonus. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to sub or have ever wanted to been a sub, now's the time to do it. No contest is the name of the sub tournament. Basically, the date is right listed right here, of course, because it is always going to be the last Saturday of the month. $100 pop bonus. We are going to, if you guys know what sagas are, and you guys know that sagas have a challenge within themselves, of course, we're going to have the Sephiroth only challenge, bonus cash prize for going Sephiroth only. So you guys are able to win the tournament. You guys, there's a bonus cash prize for you. Very similar to how we theme our sagas. Basically, what I like to call these are saga challenges. Basically, the sagas live on within these monthly tournaments of course, what it is, if you sub, hey, congratulations, you guys get to be part of that. But if you haven't subbed, definitely a consideration. If you guys want to enter, there's also that. To turn into more information about the saga challenges and basically some of that stuff, I'm going to bring it up to you, James.
Yeah. So, okay. Yes, I was reading Exia's question in chat. Yeah. So this the arm. So basically, sub tournaments are not new. Plenty of channels have them. We've almost always never. I think we might have had one like a long time ago. If don't quote me on that. I don't. I honestly don't even think we've ever had one. And like people like Exia, like this guy has literally had subbed for what 64 months or something ridiculous.
Yep.
And it's just out of pure like just supporting us, supporting the community, like 61. Um, and it's long overdue that we do something for the subs. I understand that a lot of people stop subbing because of what happened last year, and that's completely fine. We're not taking favoritism. Like if you have this many more subs over someone else, you get some extra perk. At least not yet. Maybe we'll do that in the future. But essentially, we're going to try to do a monthly sub only tournament. Um, the prize pool, in my mind, hopefully will continue to grow. Just based on what kind of revenue we bring in, we're going to try to get some sponsors to support it. Maybe we can have like $1,000 monthly tournaments. Who knows? Um, Especially with the growth of Wi-Fi tournaments and just Wi-Fi in general over 2020, like new rising stars. Um, Honestly, that's the biggest reason why I want offline events back is to see how these online warriors, that's for lack of a better term, do offline. Like I'm really curious to see like Chunky Kong play offline. Um, there's a couple. There's like a Captain Falcon player that just recently
And
started like
yes,
popping off.
Soki.
Yeah, like it's dude, there's so many good people online now, and I'm really excited to see the new blood that comes into the offline events. But going back to the sub tournaments, yeah, we're gonna try to do that every month. We're gonna probably start off with like $100 per sub tournament per month, so that's $100 per event. Um, and we'll just grow it, man. If we can get a bunch of subs, obviously we'll offset that and we'll increase the prize pool for everybody. But my goal, my personal goal, I'm not promising this, but my personal goal is to literally have $1,000 tournaments every month minimum, um,
Mhm.
into the future. So,
Yeah,
yep.
and that's kind of like the thought process between no contest. This was basically like an idea kind of born of that, a way to provide more to the subs. James and I are still working on more sub benefits for you guys. Obviously, like we want to reward you guys for being a sub if you guys can be a sub. You guys already know I do the whole corporate chilling. Like, hey man, if you have Twitch Prime, you have Prime Gaming, use your Prime Gaming sub. Blah 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 blah. You know, Jeff Bezos, this and that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't forget, man. If you don't use your Twitch Prime sub, Jeff Bezos just gets an extra 250 in his pocket. I'm just telling you right now. So why don't you just give us that 250 and we'll put it towards sub tournaments.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Ask
There
your
you go.
mom, ask your dad, ask your uncle, ask your brother,
Yeah,
whoever.
chances
Somebody.
are, if you're a kid, your mom has Amazon Prime, so you just ask her for that account and stuff.
Yeah.
Then you guys get Prime Gaming. You guys get that free monthly sub to be part of the sub tournament, and you guys get ad viewing and of course emotes. And then like I said, right, James and I are still working on more sub benefits for you guys in the near future, and that's why we're consistently doing monthly Q&As to give you guys updates on more things as they come, rather than just have them as a surprise. We kind of want to communicate with you, and like I said, at this time, if you guys have any questions, man, shoot those questions in chat. We'll get to them at the end of the stream, right? That's the important part, is we get to interact with you. And unfortunately, for if you're a PSI guy, yes, this does probably be
Yeah. He's like, wait, this means another Wi-Fi turner to seed? Like, I mean, you don't have to seed it. We can find someone else, or we can just go old school and just hit random. We'll see.
yeah.
Uh, but I don't know. A lot of little minor things to work out, but yeah, we're gonna try to launch that ASAP.
Yeah. So definitely expect those to happen at the end of every month. Speaking of which, when we want to connect with you guys, this is definitely something, like I said, we want to connect with you guys more, be able to take in information, feedback, questions, give you guys information rather than things just come up last minute. And with that, we're going to be able to do weekly streams. You guys can join us live as we play Smash and more games. We can either be playing Among Us, we can be playing Fortnite. You guys are know Call of Duty. We can be playing Call of Duty, Smash, but Smash will always definitely be at the center of what we're playing. We're always going to start playing Smash. We can do things like viewer battles and so on and so forth. Taking some viewer questions as well. Excellent question here. We'll definitely get to that question in a little bit. Of course, we'll take in more stuff for the viewers, definitely in our weekly streams. And of course, you guys can join us live from our YouTube channel. And of course, as always, with more information as I narrate this, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to our co-founder, James, with more information on that.
Yeah. So in my mind, 99% of the people think 2GG is Smash, and that is true. But the reality is, people play all kinds of other games, right? And me myself, like, I'm not that good at Smash, and I like variety. Like, I personally, I'm one of those kind of people. I like Fortnite. Call me what you want. I would say I'm average or above average at that, and I'd rather play that. What do you want, Rainbow? My cat's trying to get back in the room. I'd rather play that with you guys, right, than like Smash, because I feel like I have much more in depth knowledge of the game. Like I can actually uh, perform at like a certain level. Uh, Hold on, let me let my cat in. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll take over for a little bit here. Yeah, and of course, like James says, he plays Fortnite. I play Fortnite. I play Fortnite with James. He's carried me, or I have carried him, vice versa. I don't know, but yeah, like you were saying, James. Oh no, you got muted. I don't know if.
There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, we want to start doing essentially a community night, right? We can play Smash. We can start off with Smash, like Vance was saying. We can play Among Us. We can play Fortnite. We can play Call of Duty, Warzone, whatever you guys want to play. But it's kind of just another way to give back. Hell, you can even promote your channel while we're playing, whatever, and we can just go from there. So
Yeah. And definitely, that's one of my favorite things. I love Rainbow. She just craves your attention, man.
Yeah, she's very needy.
Yeah. And like I talk about how being sub benefits, man. Thank you so much, Deshaun. I read that wrong. Dean Shinhan. There you go. Thank you so much for the sub. You get to be a part of what is going to be. See, if you haven't subbed, if you're looking for incentive to sub, you guys get to be part of a sub only tournament that we'll host at the end of the month. If you've missed the stream, don't worry. We'll come back. And not only that, we'll come back to some of the stuff that we've mentioned before, but the VOD will be live for you guys if you missed the stream, and we'll talk about those announcements in a tweet as well. We talked about our weekly streams, right, James? I think that was one thing you kind of wanted to mention, too, is we know that the Twitch channel is dominantly, like, hey, it's a tournament channel, right? But we also want to take advantage of what is our growing YouTube channel with 77K plus subs.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, my cat kind of sidetracked me. But basically, Twitch is our home, and we've been there for since Justin TV. Honestly, like our channel is literally over a decade old, and we want to continue to do that and continue to have and host Smash tournaments there. But we kind of don't want to convolute that channel. And I know a lot of other people, the people that follow us on there, don't really want to see anything other than Smash, and that's fine. So we'll more than likely be having any non-Smash games on our YouTube channel. Um, so kind of keep an eye out for that. And if you have not, it's everything is 2GGaming, so youtube.com/2GGaming. If you guys want to follow us there, that's where we post all of our VODs as well. Um, so uh, yeah, just know that we will continue to be on Twitch and continue to stream all of our Smash Brothers events there. Um, but like I said, we want to diversify and people play more than just Smash, so we want to kind of grow that and give back and play with our community that we've all kind of like grown together. So
Speaking of channels, this is also an idea kind of born of that. New channel. Definitely a new channel in the works. This is something that, like I said, I've probably been a broken record at this point. James and I have bounced ideas back and forth with each other about a lot of things, right? And with that, we definitely want to take this time to announce that yes, we will have a new channel. We know where Smash is our home here on Twitch. We know where the VODs go, but we definitely want to also reach out to our community in other ways. We do more than just play Smash and live it, but we also play other games and have other ideas and other content ideas as well. And we definitely want to have a new channel and a new home to put that without separating our community too much and giving them a bit of a confusion. So with that, and of course, once again, James, we've talked about this before, right? New channel. Well, what are
hmm
your, some of ideas and thought processes behind that?
yeah, so the idea is if you subscribe to a VOD channel, it's because you want to watch VODs. It's just plain and simple, right? Once you start seeing anything other than that game and anything other than that type of content, immediately you're either going to unsubscribe, you're going to mute the channel. You don't want it to pop up in your feed. It's understandable. I do that all the time. Um, so to circumvent that and to allow our community to continue to grow, right, into other events and other titles and other anything, we actually had a poll on our YouTube channel. People want to see a lot of documentaries moving forward. People want to see a lot of other types of content other than VODs. And so we're gonna try to grow a second channel, obviously with your support, with the community support. We'll post links and everything when that all that gets set up. But we want to have a place to have, um, I guess, think. I don't know how old you guys are, but think like old school machinima, right? Like all kinds
Yeah.
of different content, all kinds of different titles, all kinds of different games, and people tune in and subscribe because at the end of the day, the content is good. And so we want to have a place for all of that to live, but we don't want to flood your subscription feeds right on YouTube, because VOD channels already do that. So we don't want to add more videos to that channel. So yeah, we're gonna be starting up a new channel, and at the end of the day, it's gonna be like, kind of like going back to what we talked about earlier in the stream. Among Us streams with the community, Fortnite streams with the community, and we're not just gonna like dump the VOD there. We're gonna clip it up, make it nice, consolidate it, so you guys don't have to watch a 4-hour VOD. You guys can watch a 4 minute like reduced video. That's a lot more fun to watch, a lot more engaging, just highlights and clips and top plays and stuff. So, um, really looking forward to that. I already have a bunch of footage and content on some documentary stuff I want to make, or documentary style things I want to make. Vance also has a couple of things too, and our video editor Quan has a ton of content from like the last 4 years that he's taken video of and stuff from our previous sagas and just monthly events.
Hmm.
And so a lot of that stuff will live on that new channel. And again, we'll be sure to post the link um, everywhere so that if you guys want to support us and you guys want to watch that kind of content, I'm personally going to try to finish a video by the end of the month, but knowing myself, it's going to be in February. So um, also one huge thing too that I really am excited about is uh, I want to. This is just a kind of idea that I have, but I want to have like a food series on this new channel, and I don't mean like a generic like this is a recipe and you follow this, like almost like esports poverty, uh, food hacks, right? Like dude, we've all had to sleep on the floor of a venue because we didn't have the funds to like get a room for all 4 nights, and we only had 3 nights of, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so like, what are the best and cheapest ways to like make food or get food or whatever, and essentially like survive your weekend of Smash or survive your weekend of an esports event? I think it'll be really interesting. I think it'll be really useful. Um, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. And definitely, like I said, this will allow like content that James, myself, and Quan, we've all shot like documentary footage before, and this will allow us to go ahead and put it on that channel. And moving forward, honestly, like James said, we don't want to flood, you know, the VOD channel with other things that people may not want to watch. So it makes a lot of sense to have this new channel. When this new channel is going to be available, what's actually that's something kind of want to ask you, James. But what's the timeline for something like that?
For the channel or
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
content on the channel?
channel.
Oh, the channel itself. I mean, I plan on having that up in the next week or so. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, definitely. I think that's a lot well said on that front. We got a lot of. Let's gonna go ahead and quickly, round down our announcements here. So of course, talk about our three new announcements. Here is going to be no contest, our sub only tournament happening the last Saturday of every month. So of course, if you guys are subs or if you guys are looking to be a sub or want to be a sub, for sub already, any of that information here, man, you guys already get to be part of that sub exclusive benefit of being part of a sub only tournament. There will be more sub benefits in the coming future. That's the beauty about having a Q&A session, is every month we get to make a little bit more of these announcements and talk about some of these announcements in further detail as time goes on. Of course, number two, weekly streams on the YouTube channel. Of course, we'll be able to play with you guys more than just Smash. Of course, Smash will always be at the center of our gameplay, but we also love playing other games. So having a weekly stream on the YouTube channel will also be important to communicating with you, but also being a part of you. Remember, we're one family, man. We want to make sure we're able to do that as well, and definitely make you guys feel a part of the family as much as possible. But with weekly streams on the YouTube channel, we're definitely happy to announce that we are, of course, working on a new YouTube channel from 2GG. We'll be able to put some of that old VOD content, sorry, old old documentary content that some of us have shot, put it together for you guys, and then have more projects like James's unannounced project in the works, especially a project for myself like DI Radio, will also be home to this new content and this new channel.
Yeah, the first piece of content that I want to live on this new channel, like I mentioned earlier, in case you weren't here, is it's going to be like documentary esque style, featuring Elegant. So I
Mhm.
still need to get clearance from him. Obviously, like I'm gonna show him the finished piece and everything, and make sure he's okay with it. But if all goes well, man, we'll have some sick Elegant versus Zenu footage, kind of like a documentary style piece of content. So
Yeah,
should be fun.
and on my front, I'm looking to just put up some information, some cut up some parts from the USC documentary I was working on, and of course, DI Radio will be moving forward to that new channel as well.
Hmm.
I think that's pretty. I think we covered a lot of good stuff, James. A lot of great announcements here. Of course, these all three, like I mentioned before, are broken record at this point here. If you guys are wondering like what's going to be the other cool sub benefits, what are the other sub benefits? We'll announce those as we go. every month we'll be able to connect with you guys through our monthly Q&A and able to take in questions you guys may have wondered or things that are asking us, like where's this, where's that, like, hey, it's February now, what are the chances of offline coming back in summer, like, hey, this looks more possible, or hey, this doesn't look as possible, definitely quarter 4 or quarter 3, things like that. We'll be able to connect with you guys a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you
Uh,
guys have anything else to say, James. Here, I'll leave it to you.
no, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in and just kind of listening to us ramble. We'll have these monthly, I guess, Q&As a little bit more structured, and we're definitely going to shorten the time to try to be like 30 minutes or less. Other than that, I think we can just kind of circle back to any questions that we might have missed in the chat, and
Yeah.
that's it.
And I got a few of them here for you guys. Of course, thank you guys. If you guys are just tuning in live, you guys can still ask your questions here, and I'll definitely get them out here and put them out here. Definitely, I've seen the question is have what you've been saying regarding majors apply for the smaller SoCal locals as well. And then this comes from Ultra Shadow Star.
Uh, yeah.
I'll leave it to you, James. If I think you answered that well.
Yeah, so it kind of and it kind of doesn't, right? Like, at the end of the day, we still need to get the okay from the state. We still need to follow any and all safety guidelines. But I feel like the smaller weekly events are a little bit easier to do. At the end of the day, they have less people, they attract less people, and it's easier to keep that distance between players compared to like a 500 or 1,000 man regional national level tournament. So uh, we'll see moving forward. I do want to bring back personally. I do want to bring back locals as soon as possible, and again, I want to do it in the safest way possible. So it kind of applies to it. It kind of doesn't. It's hard to explain, but again, we're going to have these Q&As every month, and as we know more information about safety protocols and how we can reopen it safely, then we'll keep reiterating that information to you guys. That way you guys can make plans for any and all future events that we might or might not have later this year.
Yeah, I think I kind of want to get to Synchronous' question here because I think it's a really interesting one, but I want to kind of circle that around to Mountain Fox's question here. He asks, will offline tournaments come back if we all get vaccinated? And will there still be a Mega Smash Monday? And I think this is a really good question because I remember we talked a little bit about how, like, you kind of want to keep Mega Smash MSM Online alive even when we do come back. So I kind of want to let you answer this one here.
Yeah, I feel like there are still a lot of players that will just never go to offline events, whether they don't want to or they can't. They might be too young. Financial means is not. They just can't do it, right? And so I feel like online events is just so well received that it'd be dumb to not have it. I mean, thanks to you guys, literally last week we had over 750 people sign up for our MSM online tournament, and that's just ridiculous. Like, I don't even know if there are any weekly weekly recurring online tournaments that even get close to those numbers. Like, and obviously, again, we people say that all the time, like it's all thanks to you, but literally, it's all thanks to you guys. Like, everybody that tunes in, that watches, that shares, that comments, whatever. Like, you guys help grow that, right? And the goal and the hope is to continue to grow online events in tandem with the offline events. Obviously, it's all going to depend on how our schedules work in the future, like what events are on what days. We don't want to like make them clash, and have like an online event and an offline event at the same time. Maybe we do if we can coordinate and collaborate that together. Who knows? But the shorter answer is offline and online events will more than likely both be happening, and they both won't go away in the future. So.
Yeah. And I think that was a really good question that I know you asked. Kind of want to circle that also around. Well, I'll get to Synchronous' question eventually because it's a really spicy one I like. Afro definitely asked a really good question here. Hat's probably dead though, right? And then also looking for commentators for obviously our. I can kind of answer that. I'll let you answer this one a little bit here, but definitely Fro is wondering about like what's up with commentators for the sub only tournament, and he's also asking about Hat, which is our, like James said, we used to have tournaments every day of the week, and I know
Oh, dude,
people are
Hat
wondering
was
about
so
Hat.
Yeah, Hat is so good, dude. I love Hat. You get a full bar, you get like $2 popcorn. Like, it's legit. Hat is so good. Uh, I don't know if it's dead. I don't think it is. I need to obviously when everything reopens like fully to full capacity, we will speak to the owners and the partners and everything and see like what their future plans are. If that includes us, great. If it doesn't, then we'll make that announcement when we know 100%. Um, so it's kind of that's kind of still up in the air. As far as commentators, yeah, I mean we're always looking for commentators. Even for MSM online events, if you guys have commentary experience and would like to lend your voice for any of our events, feel free to email us or ping us or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really use my Twitter personally anymore as much, but you can always just DM the 2GGaming Twitter. I check that every couple of days or every, especially around Monday. I check that a couple times a day for our online event. But yeah, go ahead, Vance.
Yeah, and if you guys feel intimidated for whatever reason, which I hope you guys don't, you guys can always reach out to me at Vance_XE. If you guys are looking to commentate, I can also relay information to James, and then we'll work something together to have you on commentary as well. Like he said, we're always looking for commentators. I know people are used to seeing the static duo of me and Strides. I've seen the YouTube comments before. I know you guys definitely enjoy me and Strides, but also we would definitely like to give other people space. I know I've commentated with Fro a couple times at MSM, so definitely would be happy to have him on the mic as
Yeah,
well.
and kind of going off of what Vance just said, even if you're like a new commentator and you've only done like one or two events, you can always still hit us up. Uh, and yeah, thanks, Wiz, Game Crossing LLC. He actually made a good point. Like you can just hit us up on Discord. We have a Discord. I think there's a link to our Discord at the bottom of our channel, like in the
Mhm.
panel below. But just ping me there. It's JMix. You can see me. I'm like the owner of the Discord and all that, so I'm really easy to find there. And just be like, hey, I've done this many events. I want to know if I can get a slot. Worst case, we'll give you like one or two sets to commentate, and then you can just kind of grow from there. So like I said, we're trying to be as accommodating and as welcoming as possible. And if commentary is something that you want to do, hit us up.
Yeah, and if you guys are also looking for the Discord, like you guys are watching the VOD, it's also in the information there. You will see on the VOD itself. Just click on the description below, and it gives you all the information you guys need to know about the Twitter, Discord, and other social information there as well. Definitely here for Fonz_H says, hey, I really like how you guys bring this up for a lot of miners who are more interested in Smash locals and are playing Wi-Fi and interest in peaking. And that kind of goes back to kind of what James said, right? Like we kind of want to keep the coexistence of online and offline together, and definitely something we're going to work really hard to put that into the future as well. And with that, I kind of want to get to this. What have you been saying? This is a really good question here. Our new sub here, DN Shinhan, asks, any tips for finding local offline tournaments in my city? We definitely had a really good creator named Maiko who worked with the website called SoCalSmash.net. Currently, it's not showing any locals because there are no locals offline. But if you do live in the SoCal area, SoCalSmash.net is the best website I can point anyone towards who doesn't want to make a Facebook or doesn't want to make any social, media applications. SoCal Smash Net is probably the best website. It gives you all the SoCal Smash tournaments as they happen, when they happen, but it also gives you all the results when they happen, and of course the PR for that season. A lot of great and useful information. SoCalSmash.net is your number one stop for the best information regarding all the SoCal tournaments, events, and standings as they happen, when they happen, day in and day out.
Yeah, let me share that actually in chat. Like that site is so good. It's so well done and so executed. Um that it reminds me of oh sorry, .net. I put .com. It reminds me a lot of like all the tickers and all the information that's going all crazy. It reminds me a lot of like the stock market, like the New York Stock Exchange, with just like numbers everywhere and stuff. And like right now on their site, it looks like there's not a lot of stuff going on, and that's because there you go. Thanks. It's not there's not a lot of tournaments going on, so there's not a lot of data that's being put into SoCalSmash.net. But like once offline events come back, literally that website is lit up like a Christmas tree. Any event you want to find, you can find it in your area, you can find it in your region, you can find it in your state. Like if you just want to follow the scores of like a particular event or a particular tournament, like it's all there. um so yeah, also there, I mean obviously you can also go to I was gonna say all is brawl. uh
Smash
uh
GG.
SGG, yeah, you can also go to smash.gg, and you can find events there too in your area. So
Yeah. Hey, Game Crossing has really good information here. If you're out of state, research esports at all the local colleges. PSI guy
Yep.
also says here Facebook ghosts will probably still be a decent place to find events.
Hmm.
That's also
Yep.
very true. And he says you'll also find something related and start asking questions directly to those platforms. So yeah, definitely
Yep.
check your local colleges, your Smash GG, your Facebook groups. Look those up, and those are other great alternatives. If you live here in SoCal, I definitely recommend Michael's website. It's probably the best website I've ever seen for someone to do, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. That allows me to finish off that question here. Speaking about streams and websites and all this stuff here, Exia asked probably the most important question regarding our, our announcements here is, so about the YouTube streams. I thought there was something that prevented Twitch partners from streaming on other platforms. Sort of curious if there was more to it and such. From Axia23, of course, our
Oh,
local
actually,
mod
yeah, yeah,
also.
yeah. Yeah, I did a lot of research, and I even reached out to Twitch, and so apparently, and again, this is just pertaining to 2GG. I don't know if everybody's contracts are different, like for your affiliate contracts or your partnership contracts, right? For Twitch and with Twitch, but for us, we can and we will stream on any platform. But the part that they don't like and don't allow is having the same content live somewhere else within a 24-hour period. And so by that I mean, say if we're streaming a saga, right, on Twitch, we can't stream that exact same piece of content, that exact same saga on YouTube, right? So we have to wait 24 hours, at least based on the contract, or based on their rules and regulations. So uh, we have Congo Saga. We have to wait 24 hours before we can upload it to YouTube and publish it live. Now, of course, you can say, well, this channel does this and this channel does that, and their videos are up within the like 5-10 minutes, and it's like whatever they have, it might be a little different than ours. I can almost guarantee you that everybody that's partnered, depending uh, on the amount of people that they pull into their viewers, like their viewership and whatnot, like they can kind of negotiate different terms and stuff. But for us, if we want to stream on YouTube, we can. It just can't be the exact same content that we're streaming in tandem with on Twitch. So that's kind of like our way of doing it, which is why another reason of us trying to grow another channel. So
Yeah. And speaking of other content and channels and other people who have other partners and other just channels in general here, Synchronous asks here, have you guys ever thought about working together with other channels like a 2GG versus VGBC charity tournament?
yeah, man. I mean, dude, like we literally help. We've helped like run MomoCon for what, like 3-4 years now. Like
Mhm.
we're always down to help and collaborate with people. Obviously, details always need to be worked out and things like that. But like the answer is always yes. The answer is only ever no if like run our event for free and we'll pay you lunch and we make like 10 grand. And it's like, no, why would we do that?
Yeah.
Um, but like, if it's like, yo, we're going to have this event or we're going to do it for charity, you're going to stream, we're going to stream, everything's gonna be great. We're all going to donate everything to charity. Okay, sure. Why not? Like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically it.
Think about for those of you guys who've been viewers of the channel before, think about Smash Sounds, the Aeon Gaming events you guys might have seen a little bit in the past before COVID.
Hmm.
Those are really great examples of how TGG has worked together. I know there was another tournament that happened at a mall, and I know
Yeah.
we also,
Yeah.
yeah. So definitely those are some examples of some partners that have worked out together for TGG. We've had a I think, yeah, Smash Sounds was a collaboration between House of 3000, one of my favorite.
Smash Downs. I mean, I wasn't there.
Yeah,
Champ
Champ
went
went.
to represent you, but he said like it was literally one of the most unique and awesome Smash collaborations he's ever been a part of, and like just from the online portion, like the stream itself, it was super fun, man. The whole like MC, the beatboxing part, like everything was super legit. I really enjoyed that, and I hope that we get to have the opportunity to do a lot more of that. Um, with the beatboxing community and just any other community that's just cool in general. So
Yeah. So definitely, yeah. Shout outs to House 3000 because I know they put that together the 2GG as well. And honestly, I love that. I love that community over there in the East Coast. A lot of great, talented individuals, but also great people as well. You know, Ajax to a lot of other people, just like a name off the bat of my hand here. So yeah, those are definitely in the possibility. And I know that Synchronous definitely says here, definitely need some more charity streams in this era. I love to see some 2GG's best going up against VGBC. So could be fun. Yeah, definitely. Like James said, the possibility is always there. You know, definitely things that need to be worked out as well, and definitely things that will be announced as they happen within every month within the confines of our Q&A sessions, where we can definitely have those announcements for you guys. And with that, I think we've kind of, you know, we've answered every question in the chat. We definitely want to take this time to thank everybody in the chat for being a part of the stream and also
Hmm.
asking their questions, but also being with us. I know times have been tough. I know things have been rough, but seeing even Dian Shinhan subscribe with his Prime Gaming sub means a lot to us. Just that anything like that, if you even follow us on the channel, it means a lot. So definitely, those are my statements for you guys. I don't know if you want have anything you want to say, James.
No, man. I appreciate everybody that continue to subscribe. I appreciate that. I know like basic like for a while it's like you're subscribing and it's like you might have it on autopilot or whatever, but sincerely, like every time I see you, like, oh, you guys renewed for the 50th month in a row, and it's like that's just incredible to me. So I really, really want to appreciate and take the time to appreciate and thank everybody, even if you've only subscribed for like 1 month in the past, even if you just tuned in. Like in all seriousness, thank you so much for continuing to support us in whatever way you can do.
Yeah.
It means a lot. Yeah.
And of course, if you guys are one of our many partners who have subbed to who have gifted subs, definitely I know if some people were asking like who's gifted so many subs. I guess I'll give this year for the benefit here. Stroder has
Bruh.
164 gifted subs.
Schroeder is the monster, man.
Yeah, he's gifted 164 subs.
I remember,
I think that was at a
I
hat,
when
right?
I don't remember, man, but, like, every time that dude wins an event, it doesn't even have to be an event. He'll just randomly pop into the stream and it's like, "Here's 20 subs," and then he'll just dip. Like, "Thanks." It's people like that, and like I said, that's the extreme, obviously, but even just watching the stream, sharing it, whatever, it's popping in for literally 5 minutes. It means a lot. So really wanna be open here and just like seriously, thank you so much for supporting us over the years.
And of course, thank you also to Champ, the other founder of TGG, 25 gifted subs. You have somebody with 20 gifted subs. Myself with 10 gifted subs. Oknon for 5 gifted subs here. Dreamcatcher Gaming for 5 gifted subs. Ajax with 5 gifted subs. Wolf Scratch with 4 gifted subs. And Gummy SSB with 3 gifted subs. And of course, the moderator you guys all know and love, Xia23 with 3 gifted subs. Thank you guys for all those subs in general. If you guys, definitely something I kind of want to talk about today just before we kind of close things out here. Retweets and share definitely do. How about the exposure? Shout outs to Game Crossing LLC, definitely for being in the chat with us. But also, one thing we're definitely going to do is if you guys ever sub to 2GGaming, we'll definitely have ways to reward you in the future and upcoming. Something that James and I have talked about is the Sub Hall of Fame. If you guys have ever subbed or wanted to sub, definitely expect to see some kind of slide like that during our
Yeah.
breaks as they happen, because we'll definitely give you a huge shout out in our Sub Hall of Fame during our breaks and as our tournament starts.
Yeah. That's kind of one of the things that we forgot to touch on. But yeah, we're gonna do a very similar thing that a lot of content creators do, and like at the end of their stream or the end of their VOD or not, maybe not VOD. That's a lot of work, but
Yeah, we'll find ways.
yeah, but we wanna like make it like up in front and center. Like these are the people that have supported us throughout throughout the years and months and whatnot. Like literally announce your name. So like we'll reach out to all the people that are subscribers that are, I don't know, I gotta figure it out, but because I feel like even if you subscribe for 1 month, like that's awesome to me. But realistically, we'll reach out to like the people that have subscribed for like a year or more, and like what do you want to promote essentially, right? And we'll have your stuff on a slide at the end of like our events and things to help promote your own channel and kind of help grow the community. At the end of the day, that's literally what we've always wanted to do anyway. We're SoCal Smash first, and we want to help support anyone and everyone that we can. So If it's something as simple as putting a slide to help promote the people that help support us, so it's like, why not? So that's something that we really want to do moving forward.
Yeah. So I think, was there something I want to talk about? I think that was it. I think we kind of wrapped up everything here. I guess I'll close out by showing you guys our last three announcements one more time before we leave here. Of course, sub only tournaments. So, but yeah, sub only tournaments, but also more sub benefits to come. Of course, weekly streams here on the YouTube channel. And of course, what that also means is a new 2GG channel as part of our a part of our phase one, part two initiative as well. Will there be more phases? Yes. But for now, this is definitely our best way to communicate with you guys going forward for the new year.